round two. Today we had crypto outlook earlier, and now we will do a fairly short and concise Forex outlook. Now, obviously, there was no London session today, so that's why I'm doing this video quite a lot later than normal. Normally, I try to do like a London Open vid or early on, maybe like an hour into London session, maybe catch some live trades. But because, no London session today, I'm not trading London session as there is little to no liquidity. My apologies there. Let me just pump some tunes. All right. Pump some tunes. Move to Do Not Disturb. All right. Welcome. Let's get into it. We'll start with Euro USD. I don't expect this to go that long, so we'll see. This is my range on Euro USD. Haven't done that mistake in a while. Kind of just letting price play out here. I'm not too focused on it at the moment. I am looking for this slightly higher time frame model. And then on the lower time frame, not much happening. We're also around EQ, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. A lot more things happening here, but looks good in GBP USD. Ideally, this is just one big high time frame accumulation model where we get the third tap around here, and in my ideal scenario, we come up, mitigate this supply, and then slowly trickle down to sweep some more inefficiencies or fill some more inefficiencies, and then move up and complete this higher time frame accumulation. So that's kind of what I'm looking at the moment for GBP USD. Not looking to take any trades for the time being. We've obviously ran through this demand, so that can go. We ran through this demand, that can go. And for now, just be patient and see what price does. Don't think there's much demand on the lower time frame. We have this is valid. So if price can come back down into here and respect this, also leaving behind a nice return zone, then I will be looking to trade. But for now, pretty cruisy with what the price action is doing. We have also swept this, and this is not considered a liquidity low because it has mitigated demand, so it has done something. If there's no demand here and this is just a low, then this can be considered a liquidity low, and we would be looking for price to come and sweep this. But because the purpose of this pullback was to mitigate demand, it is not considered liquidity. All right, that's it for GBP USD. Let's move on. I'm telling you guys, this will be pretty short and sharp. AUD USD has completed its distribution, but what I do expect is for price to come back lower, mitigate some demand in here, and then continue the uptrend, because overall we have been trending upwards. So we've broken structure there, and it's just been upward moves. So we can expect a pullback. I won't be surprised if we get a pullback as deep into like here, and then we continue moving up, maybe up until this supply at least. Price is allowed to pull back. Understand that the price is allowed to pull back. We've obviously got a nice liquidity curve here, which can get or will get reversed at some point. I would like to think so, but yeah, for now, I'm kind of just expecting, or not expecting, but wanting to see what price does for now. This is our range for the time being. And yeah, we will wait and see what happens there. My alerts. And that is it for AUD USD. USD CAD potential distribution forming up here. We do have some nice lows here. No, it's still there. Okay. Yeah, not much else to be done here. Also, yeah, once again, reminder, no London session, so that's why I haven't really been looking for trades. I'm just looking to plot out the chart. Can expect a pullback here, at least for now. But it does look like this is going, or it technically has invalidated itself. It's no longer any form of distribution. I'm just going to wait to see what price does. At some point it will mitigate this supply, and I do think there is some overlapping structure supply here, which we will definitely have a look at. Just going to go straight to the 1 minute one here. Technically speaking, we have this, but I have a feeling this may have been mitigated later down the track. Well, so let's see. Yes, it has right there. Look at that. Perfect reaction from it. You love to see stuff like this. And then in the, I'll tell you what, as much as this doesn't look like the most high confluence, in the moment, if you had this charted up, if you had this supply here, you would take this distribution with so much confidence because you know there is supply in here. And there's a very refined supply. So even with a weak break structure, you would still take this because you have the confluence. You see what retail does not see. Yeah, so that is very nice to see. But yeah, other than that, GBP USD, all refined supply has been mitigated, and we're just looking for mitigation of this higher time frame. GBP NZD, we're pulling back. We formed some form of distribution in there. This is my extreme liquidity. Should we get it? Don't expect price to come back up, but if it does, then that's my confluence. And we do have demand here. Not bad in terms of the volume area. Range is somewhat inefficient. But I do feel like this has kind of completed itself as a distribution model. Euro. This might be a very low time frame accumulation card, but same thing. It's not something I'd like to trade, so I will not bother. This is our range. Euro NZD. Yeah, this is just way too extended. It probably will complete itself, but it's just not clean. That's why I'm not interested. Like, it is within the DL range. That's the thing. But it's just so market structure like, and you've just been trending up for so long. So at what point do you stop redrawing your range? I guess the idea here. The only thing you could do is look for a sweep of extreme liquidity and then a reversal, which will kind of be like here. That's your most obvious extreme liquidity POI from your tap 3. Yeah, I'll just leave it there, leave it at that. You've still got supply above. The range will obviously be crazy inefficient, but it's just so market structure like. So it's fairly sketchy. Let's see what USD CHF is doing. In an uptrend here as well. Like, this is our range. This range here is still ranging, so we will leave that there. USD JPY plan is still in place. Plan is still in place. This can technically be a distribution, but same thing. You know what, it probably will complete itself, but yeah, just the timing of this is just poor with no London session, so you can be very susceptible to getting caught out on a potential reversal due to it either like just not happening due to the low liquidity. Yes, still in a confirmed distribution, so ideally would still like to see a distribution happen here, which we can then pretty much short all the way to this range low. So the idea remains here. And ZDCAD. We have nicely gotten our first deviation. Really liking this. Meaning that I can now look for potential POIs. Price has moved sufficiently enough from our and here's our extreme liquidity. There's obviously, actually no, there isn't obviously. So it's obviously demand, no, there isn't. There's demand above, but I prefer using this extreme liquidity. It's also a deviation. It's not really a deviation below. Yeah, I prefer using this extreme liquidity. It is the safest option. Anything up there is just too high. And yeah, normally I would like a deviation below our tap one as well. So that is my extreme liquidity POI. AUD Let's get to my current position. I did more than 10,000 hours. Are we distributing there, or are we rejecting supply and pushing up? I think we are rejecting supply and pushing up. Yeah, quite evidently. Also created demand in the process. So yeah, definitely not in a distribution context here. AUD against the Swiss franc. I'm expecting price to go high here, potentially form some form of range up here. We will see. But yeah, I mean, yeah, the range has been formed up here, but we'll see which way it moves. If it goes up, if it goes down, we can even get an accumulation below us, where price accumulates in this demand to continue going higher. Contextually speaking, we have sort of reached an area of, or we're approaching an area of supply. And we are also in a potential very high time frame accumulation schematic. Very high time. Yeah, you can see here the amount of liquidity that we are leaving behind us. So I'm going to expect the price moves down at some point. That is my thought process with this. Hence why I was charting for the distribution, and I will continue to look for the distribution. I do expect us to go lower, or to go lower at some point. Whether it's off this, but we haven't really rejected, we've moved pretty strong through it, or maybe we reject up here. But for now, yeah, we can only look at confirmations, but definitely not liking this schematic. GBP AUD. That is my range. very, very nice return to zone. Incredibly nice return to zone. So you could kind of long this from now. Just saying. Like, just putting it out there, you know. Price is leaving a nice technically speaking, I think we broke structure on the 2 minute. That's how low, that's how high, yeah. But we're kind of leaving a return to zone. So there's a break of structure. That low's been taken. Indeed. Contextually speaking, where are we? Yeah, we're like smack bang in the EQ of this range. Like smack bang in the EQ of this range. We haven't confirmed the distribution nor an accumulation. So we're really in no man's land here. If anything, this could be a potential, if anything, this could be shaping up to be a distribution, meaning that if this shapes up to be a distribution, you'd expect price to come back higher for this third tap somewhere here. You expect something like this. Meaning that if you expect something like this, you expect price to go higher. Meaning that if you expect price to go higher, you expect price to accumulate. Meaning that if you expect price to accumulate, you look for an accumulation schematic. Meaning that if you are looking for an accumulation schematic, you've potentially found an accumulation schematic. What's that? I don't think this is going to be clean demand, but nevertheless we will look at it. I don't need nobody else, I listen to myself no more. Although this demand hasn't really done it yet, and it's being mitigated on a low time frame, so not really valid demand. I really don't mind this. Like this is clean. You know what? I'm going to enter. Because this supply has been, actually, you know what? Supply has been mitigated. Like just. The only thing here, it's like there's no real POI the price could come back into. That's the issue. Catch my drift? There's just nothing else for price to come back down for at the moment. And the return to zone is fairly decent, at least from here. So like even just longing to like here, you're gonna get a nice six wrist reward, and then obviously if you go from the top all the way to the end, to the top of the range, you're getting an 18 wrist reward play, but it's kind of like, what is price gonna do? Because there was supply here, which has now been mitigated. So you know what? Food for thought. And even the break of structure was pretty nice. So what I will do, I will enter with 0.5%. And yeah, like it's just very clean. Like it's just very, very clean. Let me get my position calculator. Yeah, I'm just going to enter with 5%, 0.5% risk. Nothing more, nothing less. GBP AUD. We will calculate our position price, position size. 1. We'll give ourselves a little. I always like calculating it with a little bit of leeway, just in case, take into consideration spreads, fees. I like to give myself a little bit of room when calculating my stop loss. 221, risk 0.5%. For anyone that cares, I do have like a little app which I use to calculate my exact lot size. I might actually have to enter a little bit. I will be entering on the pullback. And ideally, because when London opens, ideally London opens and we just shoot up. That would be nice. GBP AUD, where are you? Like realistically, even if I just to have some skin in the game, I feel like I could have I feel like I can have a more refined entry though. That's the only thing. This is the only thing I don't like is how price hasn't actually left behind any demand that you can bounce off. Like there is nothing holding price from going lower. But as I said, the move is just too clean. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. that becomes a 10. Essentially, if price can pull back in here, I'll be limit entering. If it doesn't, I'm okay with that. Bang. Right, I've placed my limit entry at this exact price. 1.9111. So we will see what happens. All right. Gold. Technically speaking, this is now our distribution. Technically speaking, which could allow us to distribute into this extreme liquidity and sweep it, creating our third tap of the accumulation. Demand can GTFO. And I believe that is my extreme liquidity POI. Yes. No real demand above. This is double liquidity, double highs. So yeah, I can expect price to grab my extreme liquidity. Silver. Just gonna leave that as is. Oil. I think we actually formed some form of distribution here. Pretty comedic to see. Very low time frame though, so just gonna let it be. And yeah, all eyes on GBP AUD. That's it for today. My limit buy is still set. I'm not going to chase price. Theoretically, there is a fair value gap here, so you can technically you can enter on a fair value gap if you really want. That has been ran through on the lower time frame. Yeah, price normally retraces, so I'm not going to FOMO in. Limit buy, as I said, I'm going to monitor price. If we break, depending on the level of market structure we break, it will depend if I keep my limit buy there or not. Yeah, if we break this, inside bar candle, not valid. Yeah, so it's valid 10 minute. If we break this 10-minute market structure high, then I may take out my, or remove my limit buy and just monitor to see what price does. So that's kind of my pre-planning for GBP AUD. So yeah, depending on when this video is uploaded, if you monitor this, you might still catch an entry. Alright. Yeah, and this will net you a nice 16 RR. So be patient, stay active, don't get carried away, stick to the plan, and yeah. Happy Monday, guys. I will catch you all on the next one. Peace. Let me exit my app. Alright.